All right, take out pen and paper. I want you to put at the top of your page, Satan-proof your home. This is the third and the last is the part of these series, Satan-proof your home. Tonight I want to look at something just unusual about blessing your home. So I want you to turn to number 6, and I want to see how we can bless our home. You know, I guess I never get off of a study on blessing. Years ago, I did a study on the power of blessing and what could happen in just when someone says, God bless you, if you'd receive what it is. When someone says, God bless you, bless basically means to benefit you, means to make you whole, means to prosper you, means to make you healthy, and it means to make you wealthy. So anytime someone says, God bless you, there are those 5 promises in that word. Now, if we didn't treat it lightly and we would mix it with faith, if we needed benefits, we could receive them at that time. If we needed health, we could receive it. If we needed wealth, we needed wholeness, and it means it has favor in that prosperity. It could mean favor to us. When we see someone who's out of it, if we would say, God bless you, and mix faith with what the power that word means, if we saw them they were sick, we could say, God bless you, and that could bring health to them. If we saw that they were without benefits, we could say, God bless you, and that could benefit them. If we saw they were without favor, we could say, God bless you. So that word is very powerful. Basically, when I first started it, I saw 3 things that God wanted you to bless. He wanted you to bless your circumstances, not curse them, but bless them. And whatever you bless will bless you back. So if you quit cursing or murmuring against your circumstances and bless them, they'll start blessing you back. The second thing you are to bless are your enemies. And that's what I always taught. If you bless your enemies, pretty soon they won't be your enemies. They'll start blessing you back. Don't talk about them. Bless them. And then the third thing God calls us to bless is the Lord. And Psalms 103:5 says, bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless His holy name. Then it says, who forgiveth all thine iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases. So when you bless God in a praise service, you really bless Him, you lose redemption rights. You lose forgiveness, and you lose healing. But now as I've been studying it, I feel like God has really expanded it. And He said, they're not just 3 things you bless, there are 4 things. You are to bless the home. And in number 6, the priest, let's look at verse 23. Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, on this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, the Lord bless thee and keep thee. Maybe you remember singing this and hearing it. The Lord make His face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up His countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. Now the priest came, and he spoke to the people. And he put God's blessings on the people. Now those blessings rested on the people. And the way they blessed them, the way they brought God's blessings, is they spoke the blessings and blessed the people. Well, then that continued. And you can just write these scripture references down. In Leviticus 9:23, and Moses and Aaron went into the tabernacle of the congregation and came out and blessed the people, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the people. Now, when Moses and Aaron blessed the people, God's glory came upon them. And folks, I want to see God's glory in my life. I want to see God's glory in my home. I want to see God's glory in this church. I want to see God's glory in Marilyn Hickey Ministries. I want to see God's glory in our nation. I want to see God's glory on other ministries. And the way to see it is to bless them. Not murmur about them, not whine, but start blessing them. And so when they blessed the people, then the glory of the Lord appeared. How many of you like to see God's glory? Well, I'm going to tell you, you'll never see it whining and murmuring around. You'll never see it poor-mouthing or having a pity party. The way you're going to see God's glory come into your situation is to start blessing it. And so they blessed the people and the glory appeared. Now write this scripture down, Deuteronomy 10:8. At that time the Lord separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord, to minister unto Him, and to bless in His name unto this day. So the priesthood, what was their big thing? They would go to the people and they would speak blessings over the people and said those blessings were wonderful. So the major purpose of priesthood was blood sacrifice and to bless the people. Because of blood sacrifice, they had a right to God's blessing. So they made the sacrifice, then they blessed the people, and then that brought God's glory. Deuteronomy 33:1. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of God, blessed the children of Israel before his death. And in Deuteronomy 33, what he did is he prophesied God's blessing over all of the tribes. And those prophecies, those blessings, literally came to pass. Jacob did the same thing in Genesis 49. As he was getting ready to die, he prophesied the blessings that were to be upon his 12 sons. And so he blessed them. When God blessed Abraham, Abraham passed the blessing on to Isaac. Isaac passed the blessing on to Jacob. Jacob passed the blessing on to his 12 sons. Now God expands it, and it's more than just one family, but it's all of his family, all of the Jews, and they are not just blessed by one man, in a sense they are blessed by the priesthood in general. So when Moses was going to die, the thing he knew he had to leave those people in order for them to see God's glory was to bless them. So he blessed them. It was a tremendous thing. Now, when the blessing came upon them, it said it rested on their heads. We read this in verse 27 of Deuteronomy 6. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. Now that blessing came down upon them, and that blessing rests upon them, and they are, in a sense, how can I say it, marked with God's blessing. In Revelation, it says, mark those that are going to be mine. Put a seal on them. In Ezekiel 9, it says, mark them, put a seal on the people who will pray and intercede for the needs of the nation. So when they put God's blessings, it was like a seal being put on. This person has been blessed by God, so watch what you do. Now, in Numbers, a king of Moab, got very nervous about the Israelites. They were coming through his country. In fact, they were camped in his country on the way to the Promised Land. And he had heard this terrible thing about how they had killed these two giants, Sihon and Og, and took a huge land grant away from them. Now, no one had been able to take that land grant. No one. And, of course, God did this for advertising. I mean, he not only blessed the Israelites and gave them the land when they won the battle, but all of the Canaanites heard what had happened. They said, did you hear what happened? The people in Jericho heard it. They said, those Israelites, they got all that land. They absolutely overcame Sihon and Og. How could they do it? Well, it's their God. They worshiped some kind of God and said it had to be a miracle that their God would do it because they'd just been a bunch of slaves wandering around the wilderness for 40 years. They're not that good in warfare. They don't own any land, and they got that land. That is just a miracle. And so when that began to infiltrate into Canaan, I tell you, it scared those Perizzites and Hivites and all the ites to death. They said, oh, the Israelites are coming. And so they've got that mighty God that opened the Red Sea and killed Sihon and Og. Well, the king of Moab, he's got them all camped there on his property. So he said, what are they going to do to me? If they could take Sihon and Og, they'll take me. Now, what he didn't realize was that they were commanded not to touch Moab because they were shirt-tail relations. The Moabites came from Lot. They were descendants. So when they're camped down there, he doesn't know that, so he hires a man to come curse them named Balaam. But when Balaam got there to curse them, he couldn't curse them. And he tried 4 times to curse them, went up on 4 different mountains and tried to curse them, and he couldn't curse them. And in Numbers 23:20, it says, behold, I have received commandment to bless, and he hath blessed, and I cannot reverse it. He said, I can't curse them. He said, there is a blessing on them, and there is no way I can curse them. Now, folks, I believe as we begin to speak God's blessing, in a moment I'm going to talk about your home, on our home, and we bless our husband, and bless our wife, and bless our children, and speak the blessings of God upon them. When the devil tries to put a curse on your home, he can't put it there because the blessings are there. And he cannot curse what God has what? Blessed. He can't do it because the blessings are there. Let me tell you how marital problems come and how problems come really with our children. We don't curse them as a Christian, but we're negative and we're hateful with them. And we're ugly and we talk ugly. Why do you wear that old thing? Why are you so fat? Why don't you ever clean your room? You just act like a slop bucket. You got B.O. Bad breath all the time. You never like anything I cook. I never do anything right. I couldn't please you no matter what I did. You're the most critical person in the world. Is that blessing? Surely blessing, you're blessing them. No, you're not. Surely complaining, you're complaining. And see, when you put that on them, you begin to put a curse on them in a sense. Now, if you start putting blessings on them, and you say, you know, I like the way you look. I like the way you dress. You're smart. You know, you say the right things. And look for the good things and start blessing them. When the enemy comes along to try and make a problem, they are so blessed, the blessings of God are upon them, he cannot curse what God has blessed, and you spoke the blessings on them. And that prophet went up there and tried his best to curse them, and he couldn't curse them. Now here's where the key was, and it's Proverbs 10:6. Write the scriptures down. Blessings are upon the head of the just, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. We need to absolutely pour blessings upon the head of each other. And I'm not talking about dishonesty.